To whoever gets in the Champions League final with either PSG or Bayern Munich, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. You are not getting out of Hungary. Forget Budapest, you're not getting out of Hungary alive, facing either Bayern Munich or PSG. That, I simply got no words. That's one of the best games, if not, no, in fact, it's the best game of football I've seen all season. It was such a refreshment to the stuff I've seen. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan. And we, at the minute, don't play the best style of football. We play some pretty boring football. The Premier League itself has been very boring this season. And it was just nice to see some good football. To see some great football played by two top football clubs. Bayern Munich, PSG. They were at it all night. It was end-to-end stuff. Harry Kane scored the first goal. Then Kvaratskhelia scored a brilliant finesse sort of goal. I thought that was a great goal. And then PSG scored with Olise. And then... why would PSG score with Olise? PSG scored with João Neves. And then Bayern scored with Olise. And then it was mental. I lost track of who scored the goals at what time. But it was just such a mental game. It was like end-to-end all game. And it's the best game of football I've watched in a very long time. These are two of the top teams in Europe. I'd say that PSG are the top team in Europe and Bayern come very close second. Because they are the two top teams in Europe right now. It's just the style of play both teams play. The players that PSG have got. Ousmane Dembele, Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia. They've got João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha. In the defence, William Pacho, Hakimi. It's such a good team. Such a good team. And we have been treated to one spectacle of a football match tonight. We have been treated. That is what we should get in a football game in the Champions League. Because modern day football has become very, very boring. Modern day football in the Premier League, obviously I'm a fan of a team who are in the Premier League, it's become very boring and repetitive. And there was none of that tonight in this game. It was end-to-end, fast-paced. It was the ball was in the net more times than it was actually on the pitch. It was a great game of football. And I want to see that again. I want to see that. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to watch the second leg. And I wish I could. But I'm lucky I'm just happy I got to watch the first leg, to be honest. Like, this game has got more goals coming in it. This tie has got more goals coming in it. And I know I don't normally post this sort of content. I'm a Premier League fan. I do Premier League content on this channel. But tonight, I just had to make an exception. Because that was the best game that's happened this season. I didn't watch the game against Real Madrid, the one that finished 4-3. Am I correct? Yeah. I didn't watch that game, but I'm assuming that this game was better than that one. This game ended 5-4. Bayern were 5-2 down at one point. And now it's 5-4. Anything can now happen at the Allianz Arena. Anything can happen. And two top teams playing each other in the Champions League. It's like, it cannot get any better. It cannot get any better. Amazing game of football. Like, I just, as I said at the start of the video, I just wish to either Arsenal or Atletico, whoever gets in the Champions League final with PSG, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. Genuinely wish you the best of luck. Because, like, Arsenal will get murdered by either PSG or Bayern. They'll get slapped about. Like, PSG and Bayern will not waste any time with this Arsenal team. It's a good Arsenal team, don't get me wrong, but this, the wheels have fallen off in recent weeks. And they only just beat Newcastle the other day. So, even if Arsenal do get into the Champions League final, which maybe that might not happen, who knows? Atletico are a decent side. They've got a really decent team. So if Atletico do beat Arsenal, it's whoever wins out of PSG and Bayern will win the Champions League. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't know really. Like it's going to be very hard to predict who wins the Champions League now from this point, because part of me saying that PSG will win it again. They'll go back to back, but then another part of me saying that Bayern will win it. I don't know. I really don't know. Logically, I'm going to go with PSG. Because I just think they will win it. I just think they're going to go back to back. But if we wanted a bit of a story, Bayern Munich. If Bayern Munich do win obviously they've won the Bundesliga now. And if they win the Champions League, it could be a Ballon d'Or winning season for Harry Kane. And of course, there's obviously, are they still in the DFB Pokal? I'm pretty sure they are. But if they win the Champions League, I think the Bundesliga and the Champions League are the two main ones. And if they win those two, Olise, Luis Diaz, Kane, they will all be on for Ballon d'Or winning seasons. Obviously, only one person can win it. But going on to PSG as well, Kvaratskhelia could easily win the Ballon d'Or this year. Dembele could win it again. Desiree Doué's probably up there. Not Fabian Ruiz. Vitinha, he's got to be up there. Like, it's like the best team in football currently. And when PSG played Liverpool, it was men against... I nearly said kindergarten then. It was men against preschoolers. Is that a bit of American phrase, preschoolers? It was men against... Preschoolers is an American word anyway. It was men against nursery kids. Men against nursery kids. It's like... when the year 11s play the year 7s in secondary school. That's what it is. That's what that was. It was just two different worlds. Liverpool were Pluto. And PSG were Mars or Saturn, whatever the biggest planet is. But, it was night and day between Liverpool and PSG. Night and day. Night and day. Not even close between the two sides. Not even close. And we've got one hell of a game next Wednesday. We've got one hell of a game. I would say I can't wait for it, but I'm not going to be able to watch it, which is a bummer. I would definitely be watching it if I could, but sadly, I can't. But yeah, it's going to be one hell of a game. You can just tell it is. We've been absolutely treated tonight to a footballing spectacle. This is gold dust. To get a game like this is gold dust in football nowadays. As I said in the Premier League, we've not had this for the last 2 seasons. It's been a long time since we've had a game like this in the Premier League. Like the Champions League is just different, isn't it? The Champions League is just different. It's just so different. It really is. It's so different. Like, it's just the best football to watch, the Champions League. It's just so good. But yeah, I'm absolutely. Oh, I've just watched one of the best games of the whole season. If not, I've just watched the best game of football this season. Like, that was just astonishing. And I can't give it any more praise than I'm doing right now. Like, it was so Luis Diaz, Kane's ball to Diaz, and then Diaz's touch to put it past Safanov. Oh my god. It was such a good move. And then Kvaratskhelia movement for his goal. That was amazing. It was just such a good game of football. And I've got a sad feeling that we're not going to see something like that until next Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a change from me. You know, it's a bit of a change from me talking about Tottenham, innit? Bit of a change. I thought I would refresh the content a bit, because talking about Tottenham, it was sort of getting a bit boring. But yeah, my last two videos have literally been about Tottenham Hotspur. So, you know, it starts to get a bit repetitive. But yeah, this is one of the best games of football I've seen in like the last 2 years. It was so good. It's just, this is why I don't get it when people say football's boring. Football's not good. How do you watch football? It's just a bunch of sweaty men kicking a ball around for 90 minutes. You just can't say that, though, if you haven't watched the game. If you haven't watched a football match in your life, then you cannot have that opinion. You can't have that opinion if you haven't watched a football match. Because it's just so good. Football is just the game. It is just the game. And anyone who doesn't like football, fair enough, you're allowed to have your opinion, but you're missing out. You are missing out. Anyone who doesn't like football or thinks it's rubbish, you're allowed to have your opinion, but you are missing out. Honestly, football is just amazing. It just is. It gives you games like this. It might be boring sometimes, and I will admit that. And it might be sleep medicine. Like, I've watched a few games this season where